Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
About 30,000 bobcats are in Athens right now, but real bobcats are roaming the region. Good evening, I'm Ann Jacob.
And I'm Chelsea Sick. Thanks for joining us. Photos of a bobcat attacking and killing a squirrel were taken last week near Guysville. According to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife, bobcat sightings in Ohio have been increasing in recent years. Bobcats used to be rarely seen, but in 2014 alone, there were 197 verified sightings and 176 unverified. The bobcat is only one of 7 feral cat species in North America and reside in eastern Ohio because of the large amount of unoccupied suitable forest space.
County commissioners are considering a proposal to raise the adoption fee at the Athens County Dog Shelter. The increased fee would help send the dogs to a spot clinic in Parkersburg, which offers low-cost spaying and neutering. The dogs would also receive rabies shots and a heartworm test. The current $65 fee would be raised to $100 for adult dogs and $125 for puppies. It would cost between $50 to $60 for the dogs to be spayed and neutered. The proposal's goal is to have all the dogs spayed before they leave the shelter.
One Athens bar could be getting an upgrade soon. The Cat's Den Bar on West Union Street is requesting approval for additional seating and an area for a craft beer brewery. Yesterday, the Athens Planning Commission voted to recommend the rezoning to City Council. Currently, part of the business is in a business and residential zone. According to the City Council's office, the council could begin talks about the bar's zoning as early as Monday. WOUB has been following the prescription drug abuse epidemic for the past few months, and now a new system is here that will help doctors track prescriptions. The Mount Carmel Health System is the first to integrate electronic health records with Ohio's prescription monitoring program. The new program is intended to help reduce prescription drug abuse. The system will now identify patients who are misusing medications across the state. Other hospital systems are also working towards integrating their electronic record systems.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we're seeing 37 degrees. That wind out of the south-southwest, 6 miles per hour, making that wind chill at 32 degrees. Relatively dry out there for now. Spots of drizzle I've seen most of our day. 36 in New Lexington, 35 in Marietta, 37 in Ripley, New Lexington at 36 also, 38 in our warmer spot down in Ironton, state's capital looking at 37 in Columbus. Overnight tonight we get down in the upper 20s, 37 by 8 p.m., midnight 35 degrees. There's that low of 29 by 4 a.m. Cloudy skies should remain dry for most of our evening. As we take a look, Ohio basketball tomorrow. Here in the Convo, 38 degrees. Kicks off for the women's game at 1 p.m., 3:30 for the men's. Chilly day. You'll need a jacket if you're walking into the game and walking out. Temps around 38 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies like we've seen these past couple days. Just cloudy and cloudy skies throughout most of our day, Chelsea.
All right, thanks, Matt. Donald Trump's thank you tour kicked off in Cincinnati last night. He spoke at the crowd at U.S. Bank Arena and told them how important bipartisan relationships are to him.
I've spoken to Democrats, and I said to them, look, we can't go on with this gridlock. It's gone on for so many years. It's gone on for so many years. They can't get together. We're going to get together. And I believe they want to get together. You know why? Because it's time, and the people are angry. They're angry. And they're going to get together. We're going to make joint decisions. We are, and the nice part, our victory was so great. We have the House, we have the Senate, and we have the presidency.
Trump also spoke on this week's attack at Ohio State University. He offered his thoughts, prayers, and deepest sympathies to all those affected.
New information in the shooting death of 15-year-old James Means. In court yesterday, investigators shared why they believe 62-year-old William Pulliam's self-defense claim may not hold up. We want to warn you there are a few obscene words we have bleeped out for tonight's program. Leslie Rubin reports from the courtroom.
He told me that he shot him because he was hassling him.
Charleston detective Christopher Loy on the stand laying out the evidence that's landed a first-degree murder charge against William Pulliam.
He said that he came running across the street holding a gun. He simulated about eye level and that he was running towards him saying that I'm going to pop a cap in your
Did you see any of that reflected on the video?
No, ma'am.
Video captured on a home surveillance system at the center of Pulliam's preliminary hearing.
James Means had nothing in his hands, and I observed Mr. Pullman pull out a gun and discharge one round. James Means then falls to the ground. As he gets up, William Pullman fires another round.
But it was during an interview with a witness, one of Means' friends, that the detective learned more.
I did discover that there was a BB gun.
Police say that BB gun looked like a black handgun, and they learned Means carried it in his waistband. But they believe Pulliam knew it was fake because of audio captured just before Means was shot.
There's a house that has audio, and that toy gun is going to get you killed. And James's response is, no, it isn't.
And it is after that exchange that the victim is shot. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
The defense says Pulliam crossed the street to get away from the boys after he left the Dollar General.
Mr. Means, the young man who got shot, came across the street towards my client. It's not clear exactly what happened. Hopefully someday the state will let us see the video so that we'll know what happened. But the fact that Mr. Pulliam shot Mr. Means doesn't make this a first-degree murder.
But prosecutors say it was a willful, premeditated, and deliberate killing. A magistrate sent the case to a grand jury where it will decide.
James Means' funeral is scheduled for Friday at 6 p.m. at Emmanuel Baptist Church. And people in Louisville, Kentucky can now go to Starbucks for more than just a cup of joe. It is now also a safe space for the LGBTQ community. The Safe Harbor program is modeled after one started by Seattle police in 2014. It's the first city outside of Seattle to adopt the program. Police say safe spaces are for victims of any crime, but are especially a refuge to victims of assault or harassment.
Store employees will be trained to immediately call the police and to allow that victim of that crime to stay in the store until the police arrive.
Starbucks will be putting rainbow Safe Harbor stickers at the front of about 30 Louisville locations. And coming up next on Newswatch, a Minneapolis community is mourning the loss of 2 high schoolers. See how they're sticking together next.
Plus updates on the devastating fires in Tennessee. Hear the latest numbers when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Minneapolis community is mourning after a Thursday morning car crash killed 2 high school students and sent a third to the hospital. Investigators believe the car carrying the 3 students was making a left turn when it was T-boned by another vehicle. Jeff Wagner has more.
On one of the darkest days for Mounds View High School, candles lit the way inside to guide students, parents, and staff, all grieving the loss of 2 junior girls killed in a crash. A third student is still fighting to stay alive.
They're all hurting, and it's necessary to be here.
Parent Kirk Posell says both of his children knew the victims well.
A lot of tears, a lot of pain. For a lot of these kids, this is the first time they've ever had to go through something like this. And as a parent, it was my first time to have to bring my children through this, and it's a tough day.
A day that started with a tragic turn. Investigators say the teens were hit around 7 a.m. Principal Jeffrey Riddlehoover learned they were all on their way to school.
2 of them are already deeply missed, and we have great concern for the third, who is currently hospitalized.
Later in the evening, the parking lot outside the school was packed as people arrived for a chance to seek counseling, companionship, even just a shoulder to cry on.
But there's also a feeling of togetherness in there. I think there's a lot of hope in there.
The days ahead won't be easy for the Mounds View families. Walking the halls might not feel the same, but parents like Posell have faith they'll get through this together.
I really, truly hope that this community comes together and embraces these kids with love and compassion.
Thanks, Jeff. Such a sad story. The school district and police have not yet released the names of the students who were killed. The driver of the other vehicle involved in the accident was treated at the hospital and released. Investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the crash.
The death toll from the raging wildfires in Sevier County, Tennessee continues to climb. During a news conference today, Mayor Larry Waters gave the latest update.
We have 12 folks that are at the morgue, and all of those 12 are directly disaster related. But we have one person that passed away that not as a direct result of the disaster, but had a heart attack. I think they were fleeing from the fire in both the city of Gatlinburg and in Sevier County, that we have nearly 1,000 structures right now that have been affected by the fire.
Roads in Sevier County will be open today to allow residents and business owners to check on their properties. In Italy, the public is about to have its say on something that makes up the very fabric of the political system, the Constitution. This weekend's referendum is widely seen as a test for Prime Minister Matteo Renzi, who's been promised to resign if the vote is no. Ben Wiedemann has more.
Demonstrations, marches, rallies. Parties across Italy's political spectrum have pulled out all the stops in the lead up to a constitutional referendum. Italy's energetic 41-year-old Prime Minister Matteo Renzi is trying to convince a perennially skeptical people to modify Italy's constitution, to slim down and defang its bloated Senate. The chance for real change, Renzi told this crowd in Rome, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yes or never, he says. This needs to be clear. There will not be another chance. Renzi promises a streamlined constitution will be a tonic for Italy's anemic economy, high unemployment, and mind-boggling bureaucracy. But if the latest polls are right and no wins, trouble might follow. After Brexit and Trump, could Italy be the next to shake the established order?
There is worry that a no vote could lead to Italy's exit from the European Union, to a collapse of the country's already shaky financial house. But it's important to keep in mind that a no vote means nothing changes. Yes, it could lead to the collapse of the government of Prime Minister Renzi, but Italy has seen 65 governments since the end of World War II. Change here is, at best,
glacial. Matteo Salvini, head of the anti-migrant Lega Nord, is driving around northern Italy in a camper, spreading the gospel of no. He takes inspiration from the U.S. president-elect. The lesson of Trump tells us we must have courage, he tells me. If the no vote wins, we'll present Italians with a revolutionary program. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Camaiore, Italy.
All right, thanks, Ben. And we will have the latest results of Italy's voting results at WOUB.org. But back here in the States on Wall Street today, the Dow is down, but other stocks across the board are up. Here's a look at stocks of local interest.
And will we see a seasonable weekend this weekend, and next chances for snow comes at the end of next week. It's all in my extended forecast.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we see 37 degrees. Winds again coming out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour, giving us that wind chill of 32 degrees. That's what really gives us that little chill. 38 down in Ironton, 37 again here in Athens, 36 in New Lexington. Cloudy skies have dominated our region for most of this week. 40 degrees was our high today. We didn't move much. 37 by the time you left work today. We only climbed up to 40 by around lunchtime, really. Normal is 46 degrees. 28 is our low. Here's our precip outlook. Notice I want to point this out because we are going to see a breach of Arctic air. Santa's going to bring it down. Ho, ho, ho. It's going to bring it down. He's going to bring down some colder temperatures, but this wetter than average outlook will give us chances for snow here in the Great Lakes region and into the Midwest through December. This month, it's already started. High pressure dominating our region for tomorrow. See this low pressure down here in South Texas will bring moisture up into our region on Sunday, making our temperatures cooler than average. Bringing that cooler than average temperatures will come out of Canada later into next week. I'll get more to that in my 7-day forecast. 44 tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, in and out of the sun for most of the day. 40 here in Athens, 41 in Columbus, in and out of the sun and clouds. Again, here it is. Athens, sun and clouds, seasonable temperatures, right around that average mark that I talked about in the almanac, 40 degrees. What a beautiful day tomorrow. Tonight, it's looking like this. 8 p.m., 37 degrees, cloudy skies throughout our evening, 35 by midnight, hitting that low of 29. It's chilly out there. You have a little frost coming out of your nose if you got a little, you have to wipe it off. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Overnight lows look like this across our region. 39 in New Lexington, 39 here in Athens, 35 down in Ironton. Those cloudy skies, again, dominating our region for one more night before we get more clear skies to move into our region tomorrow. Again, tonight, seasonable, cloudy, 29 degrees, below freezing, chilly evening. Weekend planner looks like this. Saturday, 40 degrees, few peaks of sun again. Saturday evening, 29 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. 44 on Sunday, a little bit warm up. There we go. Chance of rain and snow. And here's that basketball. OU basketball, 38 degrees as you're heading into that convo. 1 p.m. is the women's game. 3:30 is the men's game as they take on a very hardy team. They just had their one loss against Marshall. We'll get them for the men. Chilly day tomorrow. Jacket weather. Wear that parka. Wear that parka, ladies, as we look at our extended forecast. 40 on Saturday for a high. 44 again on Sunday. Chances of rain increase on Monday. 47 degrees. 52. We warm up on Tuesday. This looks like a messy finals week for here at OU. 30 degrees by Friday, and we got to watch out for next weekend. As we head into next weekend, we're going to see chances of possibly a major winter storm. How's that look, Tyler?
Thanks, Matt. Glad to see those clear skies are coming our way. But the Ohio football team won't be worried about weather during tonight's MAC championship game, played in the domed Ford Field in Detroit. That and more coming up next. And as always, stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back. I'm Tyler Corbett. Tonight, Ohio football plays its biggest game in recent memory. The Bobcats travel to Detroit to take on the Western Michigan Broncos, the number 13 ranked team in the nation. Kickoff is tonight at 7 p.m. A win could put Western Michigan in a New Year's Six bowl game. However, the Bobcats are thinking upset. To pull one off, they'll need a big defensive performance. That is because Western Michigan comes in scoring over 45 points a game. A defensive battle is the most likely way that the Bobcats get the win, being that their offense is only scoring 27 points a game. The Bobcats are to capture the MAC crown. They will need first-team All-MAC selections Terrell Basham, Quentin Poling, and Blair Brown to have great games. If the game becomes a low-scoring affair, special teams could also be a big factor tonight. A big game could also be needed out of first-team All-MAC kicker Louis Zervos. Ohio is looking to win their first MAC championship since 1968. Although Western Michigan is a tall task, if the scores stay low, there's a chance of a Bobcat win. Tomorrow, the undefeated Lady Bobcats look to increase their strong start. The 5-0 Lady Bobcats take on the 4-4 Duquesne Lady Dukes. The game is at 1 at the Convocation Center, right before the men's game. Ohio is coming off a dominating performance at Middle Tennessee State, winning by 21 points. The Bobcats controlled the entirety and will be looking to do the same against the Lady Dukes. Ohio is averaging 5 more points a game than Duquesne and giving up 13 less points a game. The key to the Bobcats is to continue to create turnovers. Having scored 29 points off of turnovers against Middle Tennessee State, the Bobcats must continue to wreak havoc. The Lady Bobcats are riding a hot streak and seem primed to improve their record to 6-0. The men's basketball team is looking to bounce back from Wednesday's 98-88 loss against Marshall. The 4-1 Bobcats take on the 3-5 Bryant University Bulldogs tomorrow at 3:30 at the Convo. Although currently below 500, the Bulldogs have played a tough schedule to open up out-of-conference play, having lost to Big Ten school Northwestern and number 14 ranked Gonzaga thus far. Bryant has played a challenging schedule. The Bryant Bulldog to watch out for is Nizre Zwazu. Zwazu comes in averaging over 25 points in his last 3 games. However, the Bobcats have Antonio Campbell, who is a nightmare matchup for almost anyone. Campbell is averaging just over 19 points in the season, along with over 10 rebounds. In the Bobcats' last 5 games this season, he has been the leading scorer in 3 of them. Coming into tomorrow's game, Ohio is averaging almost 80 points a game, while Bryant is averaging almost 75. Tomorrow's game figures to be an entertaining game between 2 high-scoring teams. But if Jordan Dardis and Kenny Kaminsky have solid games, a Bobcat win looks likely. Ohio Wrestling will take on the University at Buffalo tomorrow at home. Bobcats are coming off a 6th-place finish at the Navy Classic in Annapolis. Bobcats were led by 2nd-place finishes by sophomore Shakur Laney and Cameron Kelly. Buffalo is coming off a win against George Mason and should be a good MAC matchup. The match is tomorrow at 1 at the Convo for all Bobcat wrestling fans. I'm Tyler Corbett, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Ann.
All right, thanks, Tyler. And this is some news I'm excited to share. Harry Potter is hoping to soon hold Broadway Spellbound. The creators of the hit play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child are in exclusive talks with the Ambassador Theater Group to bring the 2-part play to New York's Lyric Theater. Producers say the group plans to spend millions of dollars preparing the Lyric for the show. The renovation would reduce the number of seats from 1,900 to 1,500 to create a more intimate playhouse. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child debuted in London in July. Once the final deal is reached, the show is expected to open at the Lyric in the spring of 2018. And now let's go to Matt for a final look at the weather.
Thanks, Ann. Across our region, 29 degrees tonight. Cloudy skies dominating our region once again. 33 in Jackson, 35 down in Ironton. Again, cloudy skies for most of our evening. Weekend planner looks like this. If you're heading out this weekend right before finals or just getting some yard work done, hanging up those holiday lights right before it gets a little nasty next weekend. 40 degrees on Saturday, few peaks of sun and clouds, mostly cloudy for tomorrow evening. Sunday looks like 44 degrees will be cloudy before the chance of rain and snow showers move into our region Sunday evening. Extended for our Ohio basketball for tomorrow, like Tyler said, 38 degrees as you're heading out there. Chilly day. You'll need that jacket as you're heading out to that game to watch the men and women. This extended forecast looks a little messy, but we'll get through it. 30 degrees by Friday next weekend. Looks like a big winter storm. Models indicating some 12 inches of snow for most of our region.
I'm not looking forward to that, Matt, but thank you. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Ann Jacob.
And I'm Chelsea Sick. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great weekend.